Hello, Ray Phoenix here. Welcome to Let's Play Simpsons Hit and Run the Gru mod, Part 11. The Electris is no longer adequate for anything I'll be doing this game. All the cars, even the big, fat trucks I'll be going against in this level, they're just way too fast and way too powerful for that poor old little Electris. So we're gonna have to bite the bullet and use Gru's card to do Snake's mission, the bonus mission given by Snake. And of course, when we complete this mission, realize what's gonna happen. We're gonna unlock Snake's car, which is way better than the Electris. It's fast, which is just what we need to get through the rest of the game. But of course, he's not gonna give it to us for free. He's gonna make us do stuff for him. Chief Wiggum has some documents, some incriminating information on him, so we were going to have to go and destroy Chief Wiggum and give the information back to Snake, which is what we're the best in this game. Like, what else is Snake going to make us do? Collect stuff? Plant flowers? Plant trees somewhere? Donate money to charity? Of course not. We're going to be destroying stuff. What else would we do in this game at Simpsons Hit and Run? What would be Simpsons Hit and Run without destroying stuff? And look, we got the Chief Wiggum stuck in our truck, stuck in Gru's large, big, fat car. This level's really hard to do with the Electris, because the police Chief Wiggum, he's way too fast. It's impossible for us to keep up. Like, you remember in the last video when we were going after, or we were trying to chase after him, the Electris. He was just like he was a few pixels that are far away in the far off distance. This is really hard with the Electris, but with Gru's car, we can just destroy him in a matter of seconds. Look at that, his car, we just hit him once or twice and his car is horribly damaged. And now we can go and pick up the item that was dropped. I'm going to take it back to Snake. Snake wants that item because it's something that's probably something very valuable to him. Some documents, probably. Some documents that could end the world. Or maybe something that has something to do with the Cola invasion, but I don't think that has anything to do with this. So we keep hitting walls. It's almost like the walls are magnetic almost and we're stuck and we're sticking to it. There we go, we gave him what it is, but of course that was too easy. You know, he's not going to give us the best card in the game for doing something easy. Now, for some unknown reason, he wants us to destroy the milk truck. Apparently he has something against the milkman. I mean, the milkman ran over his grandma or something like that and killed his grandma. Like what happened in that god-awful Paul Blart sequel no one likes to talk about, where his mom died from getting hit by a mail truck. Or, no, the mail truck was a milk truck or something like that, but it would have made more sense if it were a mail truck, but no, it was a milk truck. Yeah, because, you know, the milkman always has to come to our houses every day and deliver us fresh purity milk. Purity milk. It's got plenty of vitamins that Cola can't even compete with. No, Ernest P. Worrell will be saying that in his commercials. And Ernest P. Worrell was once in an episode of The Simpsons where he played that carny that took over the Simpsons house. And there was also an episode where the Simpsons went to watch one of his movies at the movie theater. Guess that goes to show how famous he was. He was famous enough to appear in an episode of The Simpsons. You know something's famous when it's famous enough to be mentioned on The Simpsons. Simpsons doesn't just joke about anything. You never see Jumping Flash get referenced or mentioned in The Simpsons at all. You never see Bubsy get mentioned in The Simpsons either. There we go, we completed the bonus mission. Now we got the Bandit Snake's card, the best card that we could get in this mod. What would be the best card in this game? Because this specific mod doesn't have a lot of cars, so that's not really saying much. The Snake is going to drive this little minion everywhere now for the rest of this game. So we're playing a Snake, or just we have to have that little minion riding in the car. Driving the minion around Springfield. I wonder how the minions think of Springfield. Maybe Gru's going to relocate to Springfield after this or something. So we're going to talk to the Apu minion. He's going to pretend to not speak English so his brain is going to get fried by the aliens. And this part's completely useless too, so we're going to advance anything. It's just going to find out that Apu, or the Apu minion that we're playing as in the level before this one, he's nothing but he's useless. He's a useless piece of crap that's not good for anything. And so we're going to have to see another useless piece of crap. Odd, at least we think it's never a useless piece of crap. You know, if one useless piece of crap doesn't get the job done for you, it only makes sense to go to a different one, right? I guess that's a perfectly logical thing. Where we're gonna be riding the school bus and taking all the kids to the Krusty Lou Studios. We're gonna be playing as Gru, and well, of course it's gonna be Gru. Yeah, I can imagine Gru is doing this in one of the future Despicable Me movies. I mean, he did adopt a few girls, and they probably have friends at school, and Gru probably could use this large truck thing to drive them all to school. Probably could. Probably has the space in that thing to do that. It pretty much is a bus, really, because it's really hard and powerful. So I probably do. I could imagine Gru definitely doing this. I don't know. I never really watched any of the Despicable Me sequels after the second one, so I don't really know much about what became of the series in the long run. And I don't really care. I'm not really interested in that stuff. Just like the first one the most. We're going to the Krusty Lou, which is a pun on Deafy Lou. The Deafy Lou Studios. It's a reference I really got until years later. Deafy Lou, and their only real hit was Lucy, and then years later they had Star Trek. Wonder what was the bigger hit, Lucy or Star Trek? We know how popular both of those things were. Chris Chan likes Lucy so much. So much, in fact, that he named his cats after it. Lucy, or one of them actually, and then the other one's named Duffy. So I guess it goes to show how much they're still relevant so many decades later. And yet Star Trek isn't exactly relevant anymore. Remember Star Trek was one of my biggest interests from 2013 to 2017? And back in those days, it wasn't really cool to like Star Trek. No one really cared about it at all. It was more than a decade since the last time they had a show of Star Trek on the air. But at the same time, Simpsons has been on the air consistently during those times. And Simpsons hasn't always been popular either. Some people say, you watch The Simpsons. That's not cool. That's lame. You have a Wii U. That's lame. You like to, I don't know, everything could be considered lame in some way. In modern Simpsons is kind of lame in all fairness. It's just a shell. It's like a living corpse, essentially. And maybe the last level of this game is somehow a metaphor for how The Simpsons has turned out. It's just a living corpse. See the studios here. They actually allowed you to drive this car for the studio. Power plant. You can see different things they're filming there. You see Radioactive Man is on one of those. It's on one of those posters, and there's I think that's where they filmed Nightline, that show where Ken Brockman's a news reporter. I think it's a parody of Dateline, Nightline. I think that was that show that once exposed Homer Simpson for touching that girl's ass, but really he actually did it because a gummy thing got stuck to it. I'm pretty sure they would talk about that on Nightline. They talk about anything on Nightline. Of course, Barney's not going to believe us, too. He's going to say nothing could possibly, drink a possibly control anyone. But of course, he's a real hypocrite here because he's on Duff. Wonder if this is before or after he quit drinking Duff. Probably before. I'm going to say that this is probably before he stopped drinking. Or maybe he went back to drinking again. I don't know. I mean, there were some episodes where he quit drinking and he was sober for a long time. Barney pretty much is the textbook stereotypical definition of a drunk. At least that's what people consider him to be. A drunk. They're going to be chasing after this thing. This truck is really large and it's also very fast too. We're driving one of the fastest cars in the game. We're struggling to keep up with him. And look, for some reason we know where he's heading to. The observatory. Well, if we knew he was going to the observatory, can we just drive to the observatory then and just, maybe get there first or take a different route? Whoa! That, like, we know where he is. There's no point really in, following him. Could have made this time limited maybe or something like that. We have to get there by a certain time. Look at that, I just ran into us and our cars just got a bit beat up. And Krusty's limo is overly fast too. I realized his limo is one of the fastest cars in the game. Maybe I should have used that car. I think that car was one of the cars you could unlock in level 4, I think, for completing all the races. Or do you have to buy it? I don't remember how you unlocked it in level 4, but I know you could unlock Krusty's limo in level 4. And maybe I should have used that car then in this game. It was just a clown car, I don't remember. Yeah, but it was an underrated car. I know this 36 Stutz Bearcat is probably not in this, or maybe it is, I don't remember. I think you unlock that Bearcat from doing the races. Yeah, that probably would be in this game. But I'm not going to bother with that. Well, now I actually have the proper power to win all those races, because I have the best car in the game. It's really hard to win a lot of the races of the cars you have in the earlier levels of the game. Because of how fast a lot of the cars are, but later in the game when you unlock Snake's car, no challenge is too difficult, no racing challenge is too difficult when you have Snake's car in your arsenal of cars. Of course, Krusty's not going to believe us at all, he's just going to shrug us off like this is just a bunch of hogwash, a bunch of nonsense. It just ain't gonna happen, kid. And he's not gonna believe us, even though we've done a lot for him in the past. We stopped him from getting framed by Sideshow Bob. There was one time where he pretended to kill himself so he could live a normal life, and somehow Bart and Lisa got him back to being, a clown again. He really owes a lot to Bart Simpson. Yeah, he just shrugs him off like that. Maybe Krusty the Clown is such a siphon, self-entitled fool. You know, he has entitlement issues. A lot of rich people have entitlement issues. A lot of rich people and those politicians and stuff like that, so they're all about entitlement. Maybe he feels a strong sense of entitlement too. And again, I'm no different from him. I feel entitled to things all the time. Like I'm entitled to get this Let's Play finished before the end of the year. That sounds like a big entitlement on my part. Now I have to follow Professor Frank's car, and for some reason Professor Frank is driving around like a madman. Wonder which car that is. I know he destroyed one of them in the previous level. Look at that, we're smoking now. Just knows that Snake's car isn't very powerful. He just gets hit. I mean, like, in terms of, like, strength, or his shielding isn't very good. He gets hit, like, once or twice, and he's, like, smoking already. He's already pretty badly beat up. I think the Electrus might be a little bit stronger than Snake's car. The Electrus probably is a better car to use for destroying other cars. Just Snake's car steals the show, because it's a lot faster than the Electrus. At this point in the game, speed is everything. Never lost opportunity, I just noticed, was in level 5. We were supposedly playing as Apu, and yet it never once in that entire level mentions anything about his rivalry with Cletus. I think maybe Cletus could have appeared in that level too, and maybe his rivalry could have, you know, showed up again, because we knew he had some kind of rivalry with Cletus in earlier levels, and maybe Cletus had something to do with the aliens bringing the cola to us. I think that could have been a plot line. Just found a lost opportunity. But then again, the people who made this game are always caring about stories. The story is really the most important thing in a game, and a lot of people that make these games, they always care about stories. That's probably was the case. Just made a simple story and kept it like that. And just add a bunch of twists and turns and stuff like that to make it, you know, to make it fun for a video game. This was made as a video game. This is an original story made for this game, I'm pretty sure. It's a pretty good Simpsons story, too. I can imagine there being a cool movie about this. This should have been the premise for the Simpsons movie. The Simpsons movie would have been a lot better if it was about something like this. I don't know, maybe they could use that for the Simpsons movie, too. It's supposedly getting made in 2027. I don't know if that's true or not. I mean, it's just a myth. I don't know.
Professor Frank, you've got to help me.
For finding the Professor Frank again. Of course, Professor Frank's the only one that's gonna believe us. Because he's Professor Frank. He makes us laugh and he makes us think. He's Professor Frank. He's the only person in the world that could possibly believe in aliens. He probably sees them all the time in that observatory thing he has. The telescope where he can see stuff. Oh, look, he does know about stuff. He knows about them bringing laser guns to Earth, and they're hiding them in Duff trucks. Apparently, Duff is their go-to drink now. Not Buzz Cola, it's Duff. I'd rather drink Buzz Cola than Duff, though. I don't like beer. I mean, I do like beer. I like non-alcoholic beer. Never real beer. Never really cared about Duff. We know Duff, what was it called? Duff Zero? Duff Zero was a big epic failure, which I'm not really surprised. Surely it couldn't have been a bigger failure than Windows Phone, or the Microsoft Surface Pro, whatever it was called, or maybe even the Zune, maybe? Yeah, Microsoft's full of failures, and they're probably going to have more failures to come in the future, with Windows 11 always failing all the time, giving you really hard challenges just to use the software, and then eventually it's going to become so unusable that people are going to be forced to switch to Linux. The way more people use Linux, the way Simpsons Hit and Run was ported to Linux. We're going to drive to this Duff brewery section, the Duff distillery, or whatever it's called. There's the Duff truck we saw at level 1. Duh! On top of the Duff truck! It's simply another case we have to hit it, and of course they're faster than a Duff truck. It's a level 1 truck. It's really large and heavy. It's the Duff truck. Drink Duff. And Duff. And then there was Doof from somewhere in Europe. It's not Doof, it's Duff. It's like when they make exotic names, make things have exotic names so you think it's exotic, but really it's not. Like Häagen-Dazs or something like that. We're driving to the Duff Brewery. We're gonna stop playing that stupid music it always plays when you drive to the Duff Brewery. That music everyone hates, the Duff music. There we go. There's the laser gun on top of those crates. Mission complete. Yeah, Bart Simpson betrays what he thinks was his own inner character. Having a laser gun and actually using it for good. Yeah, I'm playing Bart's secretly been a bad guy this whole time. This is Ray Phoenix, signing out.